Uh, anyways, on to the next. Oh, fuck. Alright, what do we got here? Inside the broken minds of Karmelo Anthony supporters. Uh-oh.
A judge granted the request to lower the bond for a North Texas teen facing capital murder charges.
A big thank you to Republican Judge Angela Tucker on her brave decision to lower the bond for Karmelo Anthony. Wasn't it great seeing him walk out?
So, oh, damn. So it was a black judge. Yeah, I don't want to make this. I don't want to make this about race, but you know what they say about when you got the same skin color. Sometimes, right?
Out of the courthouse.
You know how it is, especially when it comes to the fucking law.
To the family of the victim. Why were you armed, sweetheart? Karmelo, why were you armed at school? Explain your self-defense.
Did you say
That's our little sweetheart,
Wisconsin is
who's
removing a
raised
giant
$430,000
after some
and
students say it
counting.
was
The
racist?
president of the Next
What?
Generation Action Network triumphantly posted, Karmelo Anthony is safe at home. This moment is a reminder that a community united can never be divided. The journey ahead is long, but today we celebrate a victory for justice, for family, and for the power of people coming together to protect our youth. Thank you to everyone who stood with us. The fight continues, but tonight, Karmelo
What a rock
is home.
has to do with
Minister Dominique
racism.
Alexander
No.
previously said this about the case.
We cannot allow white America to decide when and how black people can speak up against oppression. We do not pull the race card. We live it.
We do
We know
not pull
that
the
when
race
people
card.
see
We
a
live it.
white and a black man in an unfortunate situation happen, that race always become a factor in that situation.
Whoever this lawyer is, I feel like he's got into some shit and did some shit, so that's why he's the lawyer.
And it's really because people don't want to really have a conversation about racial reconciliation in this country.
We not
And
do
the current
pull
climate
the
that
race
we live in,
card.
where racism
He says as
and
he pulls the
bigotry
race
is
card.
at the
yes.
forefront.
But our boy Karmelo wasn't the only man who faced the right kind of justice. Take a look at this.
Moore is charged with aggravated rape, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, especially aggravated kidnapping, evading, and resisting arrest. DeJuan Moore's bond has been
Oh, yeah,
lowered
this
from
was another guy.
$800,000 to $300,000 in Judge Khadija
yeah.
Babb's courtroom. Lowering bond like this undermines victims' pain.
That makes it seem
Wait, no, it was another black judge. It was another black judge and it was a female. No, stop. Stop playing the fucking stereotype. It's not good.
like his
God
life is more
damn it.
important than the victims
Ah,
that he sexually assaulted.
Sorry, maybe you haven't heard, but a community united can never be divided. In fact, we have another guy who could use a quality judge.
Kristen was sitting next to Jacob
they
at
have to
this bus
stop
stop
this.
on the
This
corner of
is
6th and
fucked.
Broadway when he was hit in the back of the neck with a
man, this is
hatchet
like
by a
borderline
stranger.
Seeing your
discriminatory.
husband was decapitated and being the only one to help, like it's hard.
The injury cut the artery in the back of his neck in half. It went so deep that it hit his skull.
The love of her life for
Holy
over
shit.
11 years is in the ICU on life support. He's not expected to survive his injuries. Video surveillance captured the
Holy
suspect
shit.
walking away calmly from the scene.
I think we need to set up a GoFundMe for him immediately.
Jeez.
We can easily raise $10 million for him.
3 days after the
This dude literally fucking tried to chop this guy's head off.
incident, officers were able to locate Michael at his home. Documents say during a search warrant, investigators found a hatchet.
They're trying to fucking clean up the fucking blood and shit on the street where it happened, dude. You see the fucking chemicals they cut there? Dude, what the fuck?
in his apartment, as well as clothes worn during the incident.
Oh
Documents
my
say
God.
Michael initially denied any involvement, but later admitted he had been drinking heavily and didn't remember anything. Records say the suspect then remembered confronting Jacob. Details as to what happened between the two men is still unclear.
Oh, see, it was probably self-defense. Jacob must have
Yeah,
put his hands on
probably
him.
self-defense.
If you're going downtown
huh?
while you're drunk, carrying a large machete like that, you have no other intentions.
Oh, he was
other than
drunk
cause
and
harm to
carrying a
somebody.
large
Quick,
machete.
somebody
Nice.
call the Next Generation Action Network. Our
Okay.
guy is about to be unfairly
Oh yeah, the
prosecuted.
funny thing was, this is the first time I've seen this, but there was a drunk dude down my street. Well, it wasn't down my street, but it was some ways down. But apparently, it looked like he was having a hard time, because apparently he was like two bottles or more deep, because I saw it on the fucking sidewalk, and then he had his fucking trash bag of stuff, I guess, and it was just on the other side of the street, just fucking like I guess he was like a fentanyl zombie almost. It was like he was lagging out and shit. I was like, whoa, man. That dude's not looking too good. I guess he's down in the dumps. Apparently that guy hit rock bottom. Apparently he isn't oppressed if he owns a machete. Yeah, this guy's, yeah. That too, yeah. Yep. Fucking crazy people. Oh yeah, let's look at Vitaly.
Today's topic. Remember Vitaly?
Yeah.
The president of the Philippines has something to say.
No.
The president.
After G.I. Joe, we get the prez.
It's in Tagalog, but thankfully I had one of a few of our subscribers on Discord message me, let me know. But shout out to Anna. She gave me a detailed breakdown. I'm assuming Anna's a woman, but it's Discord, so she's a man.
Huh?
So now this is him watching videos of Vitaly.
I'm gonna fucking rob you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, when he said this to the fucking lady on camera. Oh my god. That was it, dude. That was it. You do not want to do that.
So what he said there was like, he's not Filipino, so can I just curse him out like I normally would?
Because it doesn't matter, because he's not gonna vote him in or out.
Yeah, but he's also saying he's like, this man doesn't even speak our language, so can I curse him out? Basically, is what I'm gathering.
Give me your scooter now. Give me your scooter now.
And then he tries to take someone's fucking bike like this.
Nating nakita ngayong linggo, yung kagalit-galit na pinanggagawa ng isang foreign vlogger sa ating mga kababayan.
I'm gonna fucking rob you.
Biro man na ito o hindi, sino naman Pilipino ang hindi kukulo ang dugo sa napapanood natin?
One of the things that we have recently seen
Going
are the
around
infuriating actions that our foreign vloggers have been doing to our countrymen. Whether these acts were jokes or not, what Filipino couldn't get mad at these?
Yeah, he was all like almost doing borderline, like tough acts of borderline fucking criminal stuff.
Na nanggugulo lang, nang aasar lang, nang buwisit lang.
Well, I mean, saying that to the lady and then acting menacing.
It is very sad that this has become a trend in social media where vloggers would often just annoy, bother, disrespect other people just to get more views.
Huwag tayong sasama dyan sa ganyang klaseng ugali. Hindi naman ganyan ang ugaling Pilipino. Asahan ninyo, yung mga gumagawa ng ganyan.
Yeah, and you have to remember, this is the new president. You should have seen some of the before presidents.
It is not the nature of a Filipino to act like this. Do not expect that we will tolerate these actions.
Man, some of these countries with some of their before presidents, holy shit, man. They were much more ruthless.
Mga Pilipino. Ito'y ehemplo na seryoso tayo na sa sariling bayan natin. Hindi tayo magpapabasa sa kanila.
This time, the time where foreigners think they can just come here and do blasphemous acts and disrespect Filipinos is over. This will set as an example to show how serious we are. We're not tolerating these actions. Now, I did some more digging. The way those prisoners are gonna be digging in his ass. Now, I learned what facility he was staying at.
Yeah, his ass is gonna be getting.
So I saw a lot of people spreading some fake news about this or that. So this is an exact location of where this man's being kept at. I got a video I want to show you guys.
Oh, it doesn't
look
nice.
Now, they call it the Gulag, an
the immigration
detention center in the Philippines that has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons.
It's pretty stacked with a lot of people.
The Gulag.
Yeah, it's called the Gulag.
It's gonna feel just like home.
Because he's Russian? I appreciate that. Now, this has already been the subject of other news reports because other foreigners have already been held here for crimes they did in the Philippines.
Detainees claim the centre is squalid, rat-infested and overcrowded. 9 Britons themselves accused of breaking Filipino laws are currently detained in the centre. They allege corruption and bureaucracy in the centre has led to some detainees spending years waiting for their cases to be processed.
Yep. Yeah, and apparently for Vitaly, just for him, he might be looking up to 2 to 3 years and just waiting for his trial or
Detainees at the
hearing.
Bicatan Detention Center may have been accused of breaking the law in the Philippines, but according to the country's constitution, they should be granted
they don't have
acceptable
great living
standards,
conditions.
regardless of whether they are innocent or guilty.
Yuck.
The Bicatan Immigration Center is inside a police camp on the outskirts of the Philippine capital, Manila. And the camp has long had a notorious reputation. In the 1970s and 80s, opponents of the former Philippine dictator Ferdinand Marcos were routinely tortured here.
Yeah, this
Now,
guy
the
was
detention
way
facility
more
is where
ruthless.
foreigners wait to find
You're
out
lucky
if
he's
they
not
will
in
face the
power
courts
anymore.
or be deported back
Or
to their
alive.
home countries.
The stench must be crazy.
Oh,
think
yeah.
about the stench.
The
I
stench
gotta
is
be
probably
the energy
bad.
in the place. Like, think about it. People were
tortured.
and that's where you go to bed every night, crowded with other people who definitely committed
Probably
some
defecated
crimes.
themselves because of torture.
Who committed some crimes.
There's probably some mental
Cockroaches
people who
too.
are probably.
But you know what? When I go to bed, I just know that I'm sleeping in the
You
same
know
place
how
as
it
potential
goes.
murderers, rapists, whatever the fuck it might be. And here's another thing people don't mention: Vitaly. I know he's not feeling well because that man, he's on them roids, right? He been snipping.
Yeah.
So he in there, he don't got access. You understand how hormonally fucked up he's about to be, not having access to any of his supply. He gonna come out looking scrawny, looking fucked up, and I wouldn't be surprised if this dude's crying and breaking down on a regular basis.
Yeah, he's
Because
gonna
if
be
you
going
do a
through
cycle,
some
for example.
shit.
I think what I read about was that you have to on the come off, you have to do another balance of some kind of other chemical to be able to come off it safely. He's not gonna have none of that.
Yeah,
There's
he's
a
gonna,
possibility that
he's
he
gonna
dies
be
of a
in
heart
cold
attack.
turkey. Yeah, it could be real bad for him.
Detainees are held on charges of anything from visa
Yeah,
violations
especially in those
to
living
violent
conditions
crime.
where it's like
He
super
alleged that
hot.
He went into
too,
solitary confinement
sometimes.
without food or
Could get
any
a
human
heat
contact.
stroke,
He said he
right,
only had a rusty tap for water, which was undrinkable. He said that if you get sick inside there, you might as well be dead. He said
Oh,
they might
yeah.
as well
It's probably
people when they
miserable.
arrive because conditions there, as far as healthcare, are pretty much minimal.
There were beatings. People were treated there worse than we would treat farm animals. There, people.
Oh, there were
committing
beatings. Oh.
just had
Oh,
enough.
there's people that were
They couldn't take it
suiciding.
anymore.
Ah, yes.
He says he set up the website to campaign for a reform of Philippine immigration laws to ensure there are time limits on detention lengths and to allow people to be released on bail if they are accused of a minor crime. And those accused of more serious crimes should be dealt with swiftly by the country's justice system.
Say get released on bail. Yeah, listen, that's a project that you guys have in your country. You went there. That's their laws. Now, look, I'm not for a center or whatever it might be, but at the same time, this man's on camera committing these crimes. There's no question for
Well, I mean,
whether
you
or not
could
he's
have
guilty.
like El
It's
Salvador.
not ambiguous. I don't need to support this, but they should
That's
still
just
go through
as
the
bad,
process.
too.
Whatever happens to Vitaly in there, that's his problem as far as I'm concerned. You went to the country knowing what it was. You decided to
If
fuck
anything,
around.
El Salvador might be
The more you
cleaner.
fuck around, the more you're gonna find out.
How you gonna be pushing 40 doing pranks like that to people?
Don't call them pranks, please.
I'm calling that
Honestly, you
'cause
would want the
that's what
beatings
you said.
over
But
the
you're right.
fucking
They're
jail
crimes.
time.
How you gonna be pushing 40 and then he's just being a nuisance like that? Like you were five.
Would you take
When you're five, you're a
lashings
brat.
over jail
When you're pushing 40,
time?
you're a fucking idiot. Whatever happened.
Yeah,
to
just
that?
give me the fucking lashings. I'll take
Can,
it.
can I even say I also
I
hate
ain't
these
going in there
terms
for
like
fucking
nuisance.
what,
This guy
for
stole
5
a
years.
police officer's bike.
Where I could
In what
potentially
world
get
is that a
myself
nuisance?
killed Whereas
I'm not trying to come
if
for
it's
you.
just
These people call them
lashings, I
nuisance
can just
streamers.
take the
But they're
lashings
just
right then
criminals.
and there,
Can
and
we
then
not
get
just
some
call it what it is?
get
They put their
actual
hands on
medical
people, they
care
push them,
after.
They harass women. Like, if there was no camera and this was someone running after women saying, I want to grape you or whatever, would we ever call that person a prankster or a nuisance?
No, I think you're right.
Right? So a part of me is just like, no, you guys are just criminals. And it's okay.
Yeah.
Go
They're
to
just
jail.
criminals.
Film criminals. Let's call them self-snitching criminals.
We have to change the whole PR around this thing. These people are criminals, and that's what we have to do. We can't call them anymore these like terms. Oh, it's not a prank.
Hey,
There's
I
no
mean, you could
world-
do it like what they're doing in the U.S. with these illegal immigrants and some of them being fucking terrorist members, and they're just being like, "Oh no, these migrants are supposed to be in our country and they deserve due process and they should get a trial and everything." It's like, dude, fuck out of here. These guys are not citizens. Get the fuck out.
Where I get to punch somebody in the face and call it
Right?
a prank, and just because I'm filming
You could have it over
it stops
here,
being a crime.
where they're
You
trying
put
to
your
save
hands on people,
criminals
you
for
stole
some
their
reason.
property, you stole cops' property, get bent. Because any other
Yeah.
citizen does that,
Yeah,
they're
some of
getting
these
slammed
people
for
need to
crime.
get fucking bent.
And also, this is the point
Because
I made
they
in the other
keep
video.
playing this fucking
You
China
went over
game.
there and you did it to Asians because they're Asian. That's why you went there. That's why I especially don't feel bad for you. You thought because you got that financial privilege and that passport privilege, you would just be able to walk home. He was laughing in people's face. I'm
Yeah,
gonna arrest
Vitaly
you.
could have just
Arrest?
walked
You didn't see
away,
that
but
shit?
no, he
Of
just
course I
kept
thought that shit.
doing
gonna
his
arrest me?
weird
I'm so scared.
He
fucking
kept that thing up until he
nuisance
did,
bullshit.
his mugshot.
Yeah, even his mugshot.
Even his mugshot. But then again, at the press conference, he tried to talk to dude. Dude was not having it.
Yeah,
He couldn't
dude
even
was like,
stand
yeah,
looking
no,
at
it
what
was
he
just
did.
a prank, bro.
Vitaly's going to be a great sacrifice because the harsher his punishment
Man, your
is,
Chinese
the more it sets the
childhood
standard
must
for
have
other
been
people.
awesome.
Since you
This
guys as a
fucking
whole
guy.
group wanted to be fucking idiots and ruin it for everybody, they need to set the standard. And I hope every Asian country sets stiff penalties for this kind of shit.
Wasn't
Most
Johnny
of the
Somaly's,
Asian
court
countries
date
have
on the
stiff,
10th?
very
they
stiff penalties.
They're adding more charges. That shit's just going, bro. The dude's out here
I think
begging
Singapore
for money
has
to be able to, because he
pretty
can't
stiff
afford anything.
penalties too.
They're fucking him in the best way possible. Pause. That sounds crazy, but you know what I meant.
They're doing that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
They're
true.
not
He's
letting him
getting
work.
fucked. He's
They're
gonna
not
get
letting him
fucked
stay in prison, so they're
all
not
the way
paying
to
bill for his
fucking
rent.
Hong Kong.
They're not giving him food, nothing. They say, "Oh, you're gonna
Yeah.
pay your own dime, but you can't film any more stuff until this trial's done, and we gonna take our time with this trial." They fucking him good. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
People are not donating.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do the,
I mean, he
the
don't got the
strip
following
search
for
and
that.
everything.
And, you know, his sicko fans, they don't.
He's doing
they don't
all
care.
that for not that big of a following.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
people will do a lot. People do shit for
I
free.
mean, they.
What you mean?
I don't
As
know
a
how much
dancer, you
he
know this.
makes
As a dancer,
during
how
those
many times have you
streams,
seen
but he
niggas
does
take
make money.
Nothing for some exposure.
Because people pay for seeing that shit.
I wasn't. No, you went there. I ain't mad at you. You offended all these people. You spat in their face. It just is what it is.
Get bent.
That's it. Oh, and in case you guys were wondering, like, oh, he might get VIP treatment. I did some
No.
research on this facility.
No,
and
What's VIP
no, those
treatment
guys
for them?
are. He's
Check it
gonna
out.
get
The Bureau
raped
of
over the
Immigration
fucking
has
coals.
relieved from its post the head of its immigration detention facility and 35 others following the discovery that detained foreign nationals have access to prohibited items, including gadgets. A total of 36, including the head, were relieved following a raid the other day, according to immigration spokesperson Dana Sandoval. The raid Sandoval was referring to was the January 31 Oplan Greyhound conducted by the Bureau's Intelligence Division, assisted by policemen and SWAT personnel from the National Capital Police Office. The authorities seized the sharp objects, construction tools, cigarettes, mobile phones, laptops, modems, and undeclared cash. Among those seized are 6 smartphones owned by one of the 4 Japanese citizens, subject to deportation requests from the Japanese government.
They arrested the head chief and 35 other people. Why? Because they were giving some people who are a little bit rich some extra gadgets. They don't play. They said, no, everybody here getting treated the same. So you want to give them extra you going to jail too, stupid. Yeah. Listen, I'm not saying the Philippines is a perfect country or the justice system is. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they.
Oh
make a
yeah,
concerted
also the
effort not
person
to
that
treat
was
these foreigners
helping
like they're great. And you guys might wonder,
Vitaly or
why are they
whatever.
holding them this long and
Yeah,
then
he might
deporting
get
them or whatever
fucked
it
up
might be?
too
It's
by
because
the
they don't
court
want to
system.
house these foreign nationals. So they're going to hold them in the facility to teach them a lesson, set an example, and they're going to say, go back to your country. Your own taxpayers can take care of you. But you learned your lesson.
Apparently, he's
and I
on the run
guarantee you,
now.
all these people who are fucking around this country and spent time in the detention center, don't come back and try that shit again. There's a lot of evil people who go to these countries that are poor, quote unquote, and then do some nasty, foul shit. everything from diddling kids to engaging in all kinds of sex. So understand the local population has a lot of reasons to be wary of these foreign nationals who come around to fuck around.
They do all sorts of
you remember reading that
shit.
story about that? I'm almost certain he was English. This young Englishman who ended up going to volunteer at some Christian-related youth schools all across. I believe it was the Philippines. I'm almost sure. The kid was like 18.
Okay.
Anyways, at the time when this happened, there was a big national story that was starting to break maybe 4 or 5 years afterwards about Magic Road, Silky Road, Silk Road. You ever heard of Silk Road? That's the deep web. That's the dark web.
Silky Road.
So he's talking about the man for hire Silk Road creator. What is he talking about, this guy?
Silk Road.
Silk Road.
Silk Road
sounds like a level in Mario Kart.
Facts.
Now, he was using Bitcoin as a form
snuff stuff, great things.
Well, he was using they were using cryptocurrencies.
So this guy
cryptocurrency
would go to these
as a
countries that
form
were
payment.
abjectly poor, pretend to be a volunteer, and go around diddling kids. We're talking about kids 3 months old, 2 years, 5 years, very dark stuff. They found him through this. So this guy had uploaded videos for years to this place, and he kept going back.
Basically they were using Silk Road.
And because he was a foreign national, obviously he had a lot of credence as an English teacher or whatever, so he had a lot of flexibility in terms of how much space he was given. But it ended up being outed everywhere. And then through that, they ended up finding a network of men just like him who would come from foreign countries to go there. And because obviously these are countries with not the most amount of overlaying like force, these guys would have the ability to touch people and do stuff with impunity. And there's so many stories like that. People who go to work at orphanages or Christian organizations or whatever it might be, and you'll find that
youth groups, pastors, right there was that
strong disdain for people who go to countries that are much poorer than their own and act a fool. It's like it's the most cowardly thing to do. You do it because you know they don't have the quote-unquote strength or rules and regulations of your country. So I'm happy to see that these countries stand up to us, that you're not going to treat us like we're garbage or less than human because you have the right passport or you have the right skin color or you have the right. Get fucked.
And the worst part is that there's no
Get the wood chipper
out there that's going to be like, that does not
spin it up.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's like, yeah, nobody's on your side.
None.
Anyway.
Wood chipper.
Even the driver, the guy who was hosting him over there, he's hiding.
Yeah, he's hiding because he might get fucked up.
They're gonna find his ass too.
Yeah.
You got to leave.
Go where? He a Filipino national.
Because in a sense, he's an accomplice. He could have stopped Vitaly from doing any of that shit. He was filming it, right? So it's like he could have told him not to do the things, and he did the things, and you're an accomplice to him doing the things. I don't know. I guess you.
Oh well. What's that taste like?
Sweet aiding and abetting.
Good night, sweet prince.
Yeah. Anyways, the law will get to him if they so choose. Might find out pretty soon. Okay, there it is. Abba Preach. Man. There's a lot of this stuff, and I'm kind of exhausted. 69-hour stream? You shut up, you fucking weird. What's happening? Nah, I think I'm gonna call it now, because I'm exhausted. I got class. Got school stuff to do. Oh yeah, this is the Wisconsin that they said it was racist. Hey, you got a racist Wisconsin rock. What's wrong with you? You're roxist. University of Wisconsin removed a 42-ton boulder from Madison campus Friday after complaints from students of color. Who called the rock a symbol of racism. Oh no. Jesus, the fucking racist. Fuck you, racist rock. So stupid. Chamberlain Rock, which had sat on observatory point since 1925, was named after Thomas Chamberlain, a geologist and former university president who served from 1887 to 1892. 1924-5 Wisconsin State Journal's article used the N-word as part of the nickname for the giant boulder. Oh, this is beautiful. The Wisconsin Black Student Union last summer called for the rock to be removed from campus as one of the series of demands it said were aimed at seeking justice for black students. The campaign coming with because of the fucking George. No. Oh, and the Breonna Taylor shit. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Come on. The fucking racist rock. I wonder what was like the dialogue between people to fucking entertain the thought. Hey, this large fucking rock is racist towards this group of people. We need to get it out of here. Like, what? Okay. All right. I think that we're good for today. Jesus Christ. What a oh, fucking people making fucking shit up for sick. Oh my god.